Chair exercises have many benefits, including helping reduce your risk of falling and improving your overall mobility. Just remember to consult with your healthcare provider and please maintain your safety at all times while exercising. To do this routine, you'll just need a few things: a sturdy chair, of course, a small ball, some small hand weights, and some exercise bands. If you don't have any of these items, that's okay. You can easily do this routine without any equipment at all. So, for the warm up, we're going to start with 3 sets of each exercise, all while sitting in your chair, sitting upright, focused on slow and controlled movement to prepare our bodies for the other exercises without straining. Next is the shoulder rolls. I'm going to go in reverse, and then we can do a few forward. Then we're going to do a few wrist circles, going in both directions. Okay, we're going to do some ankle circles. 3 times each direction, stretching out those ankles. And then some leg swings, just to get your knees warmed up a little bit before we do the other exercises. Alrighty, so the first exercise in sitting we're going to do is the calf raise and toe raise. So I'm going to lift up my toes and lift up my heels. And like I've mentioned before, I do have a hard time counting and talking. So I'm mostly going to be counting. I'm trying to maintain my good posture. And you should feel this in the front of your shins and in the back of your calf muscles. Alrighty, I think that's close to 10. Now for this one, if you had a small ankle weight, you could put that around your leg, but if you don't, that's okay. We're just going to extend the knee. There's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you happen to have an exercise loop, you can put that around your ankle. And then when you extend, you just keep the one leg down and you extend up this way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise is marching while you're sitting. This can be done with resistance or without resistance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise is going to be a heel slide. So I'm going to slide my foot back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to do the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise is going to be hip adduction. We're just going to take the small ball, put it between our knees, and squeeze for a few seconds. There's 1, 2. Be sure when you're doing these, you're not holding your breath. Whenever we're doing a more isometric exercise, it's very easy to hold your breath. So I want you to make sure that the air is going in and out, that you're not holding your breath. I believe this is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next one is going to be hip abduction, which is one of my favorites. So I'm going to tie the blue band just above my knees. And I'm going to bring my knees apart as I'm doing these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercises are going to be for the arms. So we're going to do some bicep curls. We're just going to bend our elbows. And I like to start with my arms with the palms facing in and then rotate so that the palms are up as I bend my elbow. And then as I lower the weight back down slowly and with good control, I go back to palms facing my sides. So I'm rotating in, or rotating to come up and coming back down. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next ones, we're going to lift our arms up forward. So we're going to lift about shoulder height for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As you're doing these, you want to make sure that your shoulder blades are staying down and back. You don't want your shoulder blades sneaking up like this. So if your weight is a little bit too heavy, you might find that your shoulder blades are kind of sneaking up on you. In that case, you can either lower your weight, start with no weight, or just be very mindful to keep those shoulder blades down. The next exercise we're going to do is bringing the arms out to the side. And again, we're going to be at about 90 degrees. And as you're doing these, you don't want your palms facing down. You want your thumbs up so that we don't get any impingement. So let's count for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise we're going to do is an overhead press. You'll take your weights, or not if you don't have any, it's okay, and put them just in front of your shoulders, and you're going to push up and gently bring them back down. There's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise we're going to do is a shoulder blade squeeze. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades down and back. That's going to open up the chest, and it's going to strengthen the muscles in the upper back. There's 4, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The exercise we're going to do is a pulling across exercise. So I'm going to secure the band firmly on my chair, and I'm going to be a little bit sideways as I'm sitting here, and I'm going to keep my stomach muscles activated as I pull across. And I'm not rotating my body. I'm just pulling straight across. This is about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then, of course, we'll want to do 10 on the other side. So I'm going to attach it over here. And now I'm going to pull across my body this way. So you can see from this angle, I'm just pulling across, keeping my core muscles activated. We'll call that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now the next one is a Pallof press. And with that one, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the band attached to the chair. And as I'm doing this, I'm pushing forward. And again, this is going to pull me to the left side because it's going to the left, but I'm just going to keep going straight out ahead of myself. I don't know, maybe that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then again, we'll do this on the other side. So if you have 2 bands, it might make it a little bit easier to do this. That way you don't have to keep switching back and forth. So again, I'm kind of sideways in my chair, keeping my stomach muscles activated, and I'm pushing forward. And the band is pulling me to the right. We'll call that 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So with these elastic bands, however much resistance you need, if you just kind of choke up on the band a little bit, you'll get more resistance. So if you only have yellow, which is the lightest resistance, if you just hold a little closer and pull out, it's going to give you quite a bit more resistance. And the last one we're going to do for the core are chops and lifts. So for this one, you can either take a weighted ball or a small weight. This one's about 4 pounds, and you're going from one hip to the opposite shoulder. And that's why they're called chops and lifts, because we're getting a little bit of rotation in there. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we'll do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to repeat the sequence of exercises. We're going to start with the calf raises. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now for the knee extensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going to repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next we have the marching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise are the heel slides. I feel for this exercise, it's a little bit better to be closer to the edge of the chair so that you can extend your leg a little bit better. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise we're going to do is the hip abduction. So we're going to just squeeze the ball right between the knees, just like we did before, and holding for a few seconds before we release. And again, remember to breathe as you're doing these exercises. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then I'm going to take the blue band again and tie it right around my knees. And we're going to be doing the hip abduction. Again, I have to scoot forward so I have room to move my legs. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next exercise are the bicep curls. Remember, we want a little bit of a rotation as we come up and down. So we're going to do both arms together and for 10 counts. 1, nice and controlled on the way down. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now the next one, we're going to lift our arm forward. Again, we're going to keep our thumbs up so that we don't get any impingement. And we're just going to go to about 90 degrees. 1, 2. Remember, don't let those shoulder blades sneak up like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next one I'm going to do is an arm raise out to the side. Again, thumbs up and just about to 90 degrees. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next is the overhead press. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next is a scapular retraction. Remember, if you have a band, you can attach it to something sturdy and go ahead and pull back with both arms. Today, I'm just going to do it without any resistance, bringing my shoulder blades down and back. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next one is the pull across exercise. So I still have my band here, and I'm just going to pull across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we'll do the Pallof press. So we're going forward, 2, 3, 4. Keep the stomach muscles activated while you're doing these. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I just did it that way to make it so that we didn't have to switch the band again. So we're going to attach this side, tie a little knot, and we're going to be pulling across first. So I'll be angled this way, stomach muscles activated, keeping the nice posture as we pull across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then the presses. So I'm going to choke up a little bit to get a good amount of resistance and just go forward. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the last one we have is our tops and lifts. So we're going to start down by our right hip and lift up over our left shoulder, rotating the body just a little bit while we keep our stomach muscles activated. Even though we're using our arms for this exercise, it's really great for the core. And we'll switch to the other side, starting down at the left hip and lifting up over the right shoulder. There's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now to finish up, we're just going to do a few stretches to cool down. So the first stretch we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. We're going to hold each of these about 20 to 30 seconds, and we'll do a couple on each side. So I'm going to put my right leg out forward. I'm going to keep my posture nice, but I'm going to hinge forward from the hips until I feel a gentle stretch right in the back of my leg. Once I feel that gentle stretch, I'm going to hold it. And today it's a beautiful fall day here where I live, and there's people out doing their lawn work. So hopefully the machinery that's going off isn't making too much of a noise for you. So again, I'm switching over to my left leg. I'm keeping my back straight. I'm hinging forward from my hip until I feel a gentle stretch right in the back of my leg, and I'm going to hold it about 20 to 30 seconds, getting a nice stretch right in the back of the leg, and repeating. When you're doing these, you want to make sure you're not like really hunching over. You're just, that hinge hip will get you that nice stretch right in the hamstrings. As you're doing this, if you lift up your toes as well, you'll get a little stretch in the calf. Alrighty. The next, we're going to stretch our shoulders. So we're going to pull across, getting a nice stretch through the back of the arm. Again, holding it 20 to 30 seconds on each side. And we'll repeat a couple times on each side. And then we want to stretch our chest. So we'll just bring our arms back. Relax and repeat. Well, if you've made it to the end, I'm so glad you stopped by today. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this video here. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. And I hope to see you again soon.